Hi, everybody. I'm Chris, and this is Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
And what we're doing is we're doing sort of a retro game club in a book club format where each month we're going to pick a different game, play it for a little bit, then come back here and talk about it. We'll tell you what the next game is at the end of the broadcast, and hopefully you'll join us for the next one. But this will be a good example of what we're kind of going for and what we want to do. Obviously, you can see on the screen today's game is XCOM, something we both loved, or UFO Enemy Unknown, as it's known other places. And we're going to kind of put some of the footage in one of our playthroughs in the background while we talk about it, and talk about what we like and don't like. You want to start anything off? Any initial thoughts while I get the rest of this going, Matt?
No, not really. It does occur to me that I forgot to ask you if we're swearing in this particular event because I never learned to express myself without.
I was going to say, my initial plan was like, I'm probably going to try not to, but I know me, and I'm going to. It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's kind of a deal breaker for me, to be honest. Like, I don't think I can do it.
No.
Especially XCOM. Like, if you want me to swear, you shouldn't have picked XCOM.
Yeah, no, it's XCOM and Darkest Dungeon have caused me to swear more than any two games I've ever known. So.
Oh, they're brutal.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go back into OBS here and turn off the image. Come back to here. So this is the intro, and honestly, the intro is 90% of why I wanted to talk about this game to begin with. I hate this intro. I love this game, and I hate this intro.
It doesn't transfer well to the rest of the game. Like, this art style is not present, I don't think, anywhere else in the game. It's just kind of tossed together.
The art style's not there. The tone isn't there. So, like, this game is a game about kicking you until you cry. And right off the bat, it's showing these guys coming out and being total badasses.
Yeah, not the case.
Not the case. Not how you're going to get the game at all. In fact, the one that really ticks me off is the heavy guy. This guy. He's going to wink. Yeah. He winks at you. That's so comically, like, lighthearted.
It's misguided, yeah. You're not going to come flying out of the Sky Ranger like that at all.
No.
That is not going to happen in XCOM ever.
No, these guys are superheroes, and that's not. So I just had to take a moment and whine about that because, oh my god.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is my first playthrough. I might jump over to my second one.
Sure.
While we're doing this, just because
You're choosing. Are you going to choose
I'm
veteran?
choosing veteran.
Oh, you idiot. No, do it. No. Do experienced. It's fine. Don't choose veteran.
No, I do it. Oh!
Such a bad idea. Like, XCOM is just like one bad decision after another, and you started with a bad decision.
I started with a bad decision.
I think if you pick Super Genius, someone from Microprose just comes to your house and kicks you in the
That's a distinct possibility.
I've never tried it, but that's what happens.
Well, and like one of the things, I don't know if you remember this. I got this when we worked at Software Etc., the XCOM strategy guide.
Yeah.
So it's one of the few strategy guides I don't feel guilty about picking up. It's not the tactics that kill you on the higher difficulty levels. It's the amount of hit points and the amount of aliens they put in. They ramp both up. So it very quickly becomes unfair. I think one of these had a small UFO in one of the games I was playing that had 11 aliens in it. It was too many. It was just too many. And I will not be doing that again. But I was feeling all badass from playing the new XCOMs because
Sure.
They're just not as difficult.
Right. Yeah, this thing is unforgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And like we should tell people that this is not like a fun game.
No.
You're not going to just enjoy playing XCOM. You're going to eke out a tiny bit of satisfaction here and there.
Yep.
It's going to be enough to keep you going.
Yeah, and that's part of why I wanted to show. I might jump to the other one later, and we'll talk about that when we get to like build order and research priorities, because we'll talk about that later, I think. I mean, if we're going through our thing, we wanted to kind of talk about sort of the general info about XCOM. It came out in what, 1992?
Yeah,
Around the time. Right. And it was an era where a lot of what made this game successful, or more successful than a couple other games that came out around the same time that did the same thing, was the X-Files, the endless amount of UFO documentary shows on Discovery and things like that, and long before History Channel started picking those up. So this was definitely a product of that time and culture, I think. I mean, did you feel that way, or was that just me?
Yeah, no, it was like kind of the upswing of the whole, UFO pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed you didn't name any of your troops. Do you do that because they're so terrible that you just expect them all to die right away?
I think I did later. I usually wait a round or two to find out is it worth naming them.
Yeah, like I don't know what they're teaching these people at the XCOM Academy, but it seems to me that it's really heavily focused on throwing accuracy.
Right?
Like all the guys, they have like 70 throwing accuracy and like 40 shooting accuracy. Like that, something's wrong there. Like your priorities are not right.
Yep. Not a good idea. So, and here I screwed up too. I went for motion sensor instead of medkit. I don't know what I was thinking there, but
I've never successfully used a medkit in XCOM, to be honest.
I have, but it's very rarely, at least more than I've successfully used motion detectors.
Yeah, this is pretty standard. Like right away, got to build living quarters, got to build general stores.
Yeah.
I don't build a hangar ever though. That's new to me. That idea.
The reason I put the hangars is I'm trying to get ahead of the game for the alien invasions when they start raiding your bases.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of why I was drawing that arrow up there. I like to get all my hangars up along the top and then kill that other storage so that everything's got to funnel through.
Oh. Yeah, I've tried to optimize my base layout for the invasions, but I never thought about sacking rooms to make it better. That's a good idea.
Yeah. If you ever build a second base, which on the easy levels you can kind of get away without doing, but on veteran and up, you're gonna have to build another base somewhere else, or you're gonna get.
Yeah, those definitely optimize from the get go. But yeah. I just kind of write the first one off as well. This is an event. I'll just load it up with dudes and tanks and whatever I have to do. I notice you don't sack any of your troops. Like the first thing I do is identify my terrible troops and I sack them. I give them a disparaging name, and then I just sack the shit out or the crap out of them right away.
I expect most of them are gonna die, so I don't care. To me, until plasma weapons, and this is so I might as well bring up plasma weapons now because I keep bringing them up. I don't bother with laser weapons at all. I just skip them. I rush plasma.
Yeah.
And it changes the difficulty of the game quite a bit. What happened to me in the other video, and like I said, I'll probably go pick it out, is the first mission I had with plasma weapons. I get off the Sky Ranger, get everybody in position around it, kind of guarding the base door, and one of the guys is possessed and proceeds to shoot 3 of the people with plasma weapons. And I'm like,
terrific.
Well, they're good against everything but mind control, so.
Yep. The problem I have is like I always run out of Illyrium. And then I get nothing because you need Illyrium to make the clips, I think, for them.
You do, but you're also scavenging so many plasma weapons anyway that.
That's true.
That's another reason. Like I don't have to manufacture plasma weapons ever. I'm just picking them up. And here's like Bravery 10.
Yeah,
Like
these guys are turds. Look at this guy. You got a lot of turds on your
I
XCOM squad here.
I did. It was
Yeah,
painful.
just load them up, let them get killed. That's all you can do.
So, where do you put your base?
I usually put mine somewhere where it's convenient to shoot dudes down over water when I don't want to deal with them. So like I usually put it in like Mexico or you know, yeah, usually like around Mexico.
So you actually work towards water kills.
A lot of times, yeah. When I'm spread too thin, like I gotta feel like I have to intercept the UFOs, so I wanna shoot them down over water sometimes, and then you can like disengage and follow them, and shoot them down over land if you want. But like you're not really gonna have that option with small radar. Every dude you're gonna get here is gonna be over land.
Yeah. No, I'm actually surprised at that. I've never considered water landings an option. It just
Yeah, it gets rid of the problem of having to hit the landing sites.
I guess, but then you don't get any resources from it, and you don't have your people getting experience.
That's true. Yeah,
So
it's like if you get a squad wipe or something,
I
or
suppose were you trying to rebuild?
yeah,
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 because that's interesting. Like I always put it up, I mean, near Duluth, just because Duluth, but also because that covers the U.S., who's your biggest funder. Like
true.
they're never going to have a problem, even with a small radar. You're going to have them covered, and you'll still get some out of Mexico and Canada too. So
Yeah. Do you
I've,
get more resources for doing a cautious attack versus an aggressive attack? After
I
you
think
shoot them down?
I think you get it puts your own uh, craft at less risk, is why I do it.
Okay.
But otherwise, I don't know. Probably. I bet the game thinks that way because it really does. It has a lot of thought into absolutely everything, and it doesn't tell you what any of that thought is.
Yeah. Yeah, XCOM doesn't give you any good information about anything. I've noticed. It's just like, well, you just go in, you do it. Like I don't know how it equips, how it chooses if it's going to equip
No,
the heavy weapons to who. Like it doesn't matter. It's just it seems very slipshod in
it,
that regard.
and I think this is again a product of the time where games were just starting to become this complex. It's and that it decided to do a strategy game on top of like a base building management game.
Yeah, let's talk about how bad this combat interface is
Oh
for
my
a
god, it's
second,
horrible.
because yeah, like do you ever have the problem where you're trying to get the dude to go off the Sky Ranger and then like
And he
in a
walks
different
back
direction?
on the Sky Ranger.
Like get off the Sky Ranger, you moron!
What do
It's
you-
so frustrating.
Well, and I think I noticed finally in this game, like the pathfinding only works because you can see, and I know you can't see where I'm pointing on the monitor, but I'm pointing on the monitor up to where like that farm field and grass meet, that it's a series
Yeah.
of squares. The pathfinding only works to a neighboring square.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, because the pathfinding is bad. Like they can't get out of buildings sometimes. You're not going to get them where you want to go without holding their hand.
You really got to baby them the whole way through to get them where you want them to go in small steps if you really want to be fine tuning with it.
You duck a lot more than I do. Like I never duck because I guess I just hate my troops so much.
It does lower their chance of getting hit and it improves their accuracy. So it's worth it if you've got the time units and it's not going to cost you anything to make them duck.
Yeah, that's a good point. Another thing I do here in combat that I notice you don't do is use the area map. Like the first thing I do when I get off the Sky Ranger is hit the area map to get an idea about what's around.
What's around? This is why you see me like absolutely like a Jack Russell Terrier on coffee here, jittering all over the screen because I'm doing it that way instead of using the area map, which is probably the dumb way to do it. So
Yeah, there's probably no good way to do it.
No, it's no. We'll talk about psionics in a little bit here. Speaking of no
Like,
good way to.
look at this guy. Like, he can't even walk off the Sky Ranger with that big cannon.
No, why did you pick him?
It's so stupid. Like, he's going to be useless.
Yeah, and he ends up being useless.
Yeah,
I think it
poor
keeps him
Aegis.
alive too, because he like drags his ass to get to any of the battles. So he's like,
I
"Oh,
suppose, yeah.
everybody's dead. Oh, that's too bad."
Here I come with my arm cannon, whatever that thing is.
Well, and like you need arm cannons on the first mission. You're
Yeah.
fighting sectoids. That's all you're ever gonna fight. You're not gonna find a muton or a reaper or anything. So, yeah. One of the things I do think's interesting, talking back about the different the strategy management with the tactical management, that the new game doesn't make anybody do.
Whoa.
Yeah. Is every bullet's paid for.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you have to buy clips, you have to worry about that. Everything's accounted for. I
You're
don't
really
remember.
thinking about taking this shot, aren't you?
I am really thinking about taking the shot. I'm again trying to remember, did I take the shot? I think I did.
You gotta, yeah.
Because you can't let them stand up.
No. Like, look at that. That auto shot accuracy, 24%, was it?
Yep.
Like, he's gonna miss, I guarantee it.
No,
my
buddy.
goodness. Wow.
Well, I did aimed, which puts it at
you
like,
did aimed. I didn't see that.
yeah.
I never do aimed shots.
That's part of what made me really sit here and think about it. I'm like, if I take an aimed shot, I might actually do it, but it's all my turn units.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with XCOM, we should talk about what's going on here. Like,
Yeah.
the green bar is the movement points at the bottom, and it's also represented with the green number. None of the other bars mean anything, as far as I can tell. They're just random numbers that it puts on the screen. But is that true? Do they mean something?
They do mean stuff. So the green bar is your turn units. Yellow bar is your stamina. Like,
Okay.
and if you have heavier equipment or heavier things like that, that'll go down faster and you'll get less turn units back.
Oh, okay.
The red is obviously your health, and the purple's like your morale, I want to say. I don't remember on that
Whatever. But you always run out of turn units.
one. You always run out of turn
You
units.
run out of anything else.
No, and like your health is almost pointless, because if you get shot, you're dead.
Yeah. It doesn't
Rarely do you survive it. Stamina's kind of important. One of the things I think is annoying, this time units reserved for snapshot, it covers your stats. It would make more sense if it covered your options, because you're having your options taken away. Why is it? I don't know. It just makes me crabby.
And that's the 4 buttons in the lower left there. The green arrow is move freely.
Yeah.
The one to the right is snapshot, and then aim shot, and then auto shot. And that's when it's the alien's turn, what your dude's going to do. Like
Right.
an alien. So you're going to want to reserve some time.
Right. I like, and this is one of the things I think is missing from the new ones, I do like the action point system. It really makes each of the guys feel different.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I wish it was a little clearer on some of the stuff. I feel like I can do more in this game, but the interface gets in its way so badly.
Yeah.
That's really too bad. And I don't remember if I do it in this mission or not. Like, the ability to destroy the environment. Like, to choose to shoot a wall. Or choose to light that field on fire and smoke them out.
Yeah, one of the things about the interface here that annoys me is when it's the alien's turn, you see an alien move, but you don't really get a lot of context about where it is on the map. So it's like you don't always know. Do you think they'd remember because it just happened a second ago?
Right.
I don't understand why it's... Even if they disappear, like, I get that. That's fine.
Yeah.
But show me where you saw them.
Mm-hmm.
Help me help you a little bit, guys. Oh.
Yeah, like a shot just fired from somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know what just happened. I just saw a shot fly by as my guy was walking around. Now I find him.
There he is.
Yep. Like the fog of war isn't very good at telling you what's actually foggy.
Right.
Because you can, once you've exposed a corner, and now he's dead. No, he lived. Oh.
Oh my goodness. You are trying to get this guy killed. Why didn't you take a shot at that alien?
I don't know. Um,
You're like, I'm going to get behind this wall while he unloads on me.
yeah, I think that was my thought. Is I needed to
Oh.
get him to the wall, and then I couldn't
And
do
he
it
didn't
anyway.
make it. Didn't make it.
Didn't make it anyway.
Yeah, he's dead. That's fine though.
Yeah.
He's a turd.
Yeah. No one likes these guys.
The multi-level system here in combat too, like it comes into play more later, but it's also pretty difficult to like navigate. I think
It
I
is.
struggle with it.
I want to use the mouse wheel. I want to use the mouse wheel so many times in this
Yes.
game to go up and down and to drive through menus. There's another case that we were talking about. It's a product of its time. It's a product of its time. I was talking to one of my coworkers today about a time before mouse wheels, and they're like, "That was never a thing." I'm like, "It kind of was. They didn't always used to have them." Um, and so this was a game that didn't presume you did.
But man, if you could zoom out in this game, it would be
Oh.
a game changer. It would be so like incredible.
Mm-hmm.
The feature, which is really depressing to say, but
Either to scroll out or to just be able to like scroll up and down levels with the mouse wheel. Either one.
Yes.
Give me either.
or both would be the best.
Both would be the best, yeah. Like and a better rotation. Like the ability to rotate. You get lost far too often behind your own gear in this. And I understand at the time when you're doing sprites, you really only have sort of one design for a lot of this. But
Ooh. Terrible shot.
terrible shot.
Tatiana.
So, terrible interface. One of the other things that I think a lot of people coming into this might not realize is when you see these percentages, that was nice timing. That's the percentage for the square right next to the person.
Really?
Yup. Every step away, that percentage goes down.
I didn't know that. That's terrible.
Right? So, I don't know what my actual percentage to hit that asshole is.
Probably right around 0.
Right?
The other thing, like, you can shoot those guys, even though you don't have the little like notification that you can see them. Like, you can just take a pot shot at them.
Yeah. I don't know if I've done that on this video or not, but it is something you want to do a lot because it means you're too far away for them to see too. So you push a spotter into the area and you have everybody else just blind shooting at the guy and you get lucky and it keeps your guys alive a little longer, but
Yeah, the line of sight is pretty rough too. Like, it'll tell you, oh, you don't have a shot at this guy, but you don't know why. Like, sometimes it's really hard to figure out what's in your way.
right, what's blocking you? And then he apparently has a shot at you 3 seconds later. So
Right? Yeah, he's got no problem. I've had it where they're like behind a fence, and if I duck, I can see them. But if I'm standing, I can't. I'm like, oh my, are you kidding?
I've had it the other way where I go up to like a hedge bush and if I duck, I lose them, and if I got to stand up to take the shot, and all I can think is, "Oh, great," you know.
Yeah, that's fair. That makes sense.
Yeah, that at least makes sense. I'll give it. I've never seen the other way. That's hilarious. Annoying, but hilarious.
Yeah. But it's
Another,
cool, like the line of sight, you can look through the windows and stuff. I like that. That's pretty neat.
yeah, that's actually. See, why did she not see him before? Anyway,
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Go ahead. I'm sorry. You were saying.
no, the little alien popped up and totally distracted me. No, the Windows thing. Another one of the reasons I wanted to start with this game is I was watching somebody else play it, and they were walking right by the windows without looking in. And then they went into the building and got mowed down. I'm like, that's your own fault. That's
Yeah, you got to check your corners, man.
Yep. He's alive, by the way. He made it to the fence without dying for some reason.
I watch him miss. He's gonna
Oh yeah,
miss.
no way. Oh, holy!
Oh! You're lucky he didn't shoot her back
I
there.
know. I thought that. I'm like, I'll bet this goes horribly wrong.
And you haven't even like gone around the front of this ship yet.
No, I think that's where I lose everybody. Um,
Yeah.
going in
The
the
kill
UFO,
box. That
yeah.
happens.
When you first step in, especially when it's smoky in there, and I've already seen that there's some smoke around it, they just get to light you up as you walk in the door. The other thing I'll comment for difficulty settings, like, this is not a small UFO for my first UFO.
No, it is big.
Like
I think
that,
it's probably right in the pantheon of UFOs.
yeah, it's like the largest one level craft, I want to say. No, there's one more that's a little bigger, but that's part of why I'm still mowing down aliens out here instead of. If you're playing on easy, you might get one of the tiny scout craft where there'll be one, maybe two aliens in it. And that's survivable for your first mission. You're not going to lose anybody on that.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little bit of experience and
How did shot him?
I shot him. How do they live? In the head.
Yeah, sometimes they take a couple. Like it doesn't make any sense. I don't know if there's randomness to how much damage it does or what. But.
There is. So in addition to the randomness of, just hitting them, the amount of damage is then random on top of it.
This guy's trucking.
Yep.
You're setting this guy up to get killed with going, like with no support around
Nope.
by the door. Nope.
Got to find out what's going on in here, right? What could go wrong?
There's no one else with this guy.
No, he's alone.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. No one liked him anyway.
Yeah.
Although that does kind of come down to, like, one of your mentions, the Zap Brannigan maneuver, sending wave after wave of troops until the aliens run out of time units.
Oh, there he goes.
There we go.
The wall didn't help him in the end, I guess.
Nope. And here I'm trying to decide, do I send her around the side or around back? And I decided around back.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, yeah. You're not going to be able to go through that door this turn anyway.
No.
But now if that alien comes through the back door, you're kind of in a...
Oh, hosed. Yeah.
They're not going to make it far with that thing.
No. But I have done that on alien crafts, where I have just been like, okay, two of you are dead. You and you.
Yep. That poor guy.
Yeah. I've also done, like, put a proximity mine right outside the door and just waited till they randomly moved out it.
Yep. Proximity mines are great.
Yeah. They take forever.
I've killed myself many times.
Oh, yeah. No.
Mines.
So here's the question. I mean, right now we're only seeing sectoids, but you eventually get the Reapers and the Floaters and a bunch of different things. Do you customize troops with different weapon layouts for trying to take out different aliens?
Never.
Okay.
Because I never, like, have... My plans never are cohesive enough to get the guys where they need to be. Like, it's random. It's like playing chess against someone where you can't see their pieces.
Yeah.
You're never going to get the guy where he needs to be to use the thing to kill the guy. Like, just get plasma.
Yep.
Plasma's going to solve all your problems.
It really does. It really does.
That mind control problem you had.
except for mind control. That's the only thing it really doesn't. So you rush plasma then as well, or do you go for something else first?
I always rush plasma. I rush plasma rifle.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever researched the plasma pistol. I don't have time for that. Like, I need a rifle.
Yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Gutsy choice.
Yep.
Oh.
And it didn't pay off.
You'll snapshot him though right here.
Yep.
There you go. I love the animation when they die. It
Yeah.
looks like they're melting. I know they're supposed to be like falling backwards, but
No, it just looks like they melt. I love that. I also check behind the door now because there has been one time there's one of the little bastards behind the door and I didn't think there would be, and
yeah, that just happens. Like I don't know. They're smart little bastards, I guess.
well, and the game's so unforgiving. Like,
Don't go away.
don't do it.
Don't do it. This is like watching a horror movie. Why would you do that?
Well, I didn't hear anything moving around was my thought. Like, I haven't heard anything moving in there. I haven't heard any doors opening and closing. I mean, because there's no doors left to open and close, but
I guess.
I figured it'd be safe, and I was wrong.
Yeah.
Very, very wrong.
Yeah, like what are you gonna do? You're not gonna kill both those aliens in
Nope.
one turn. They're just gonna unload on this poor guy.
Yep.
Oh well.
Yep.
Oh, here it comes. It's nice that the aliens are just as terrible shots as you are.
No, it is like early on, for all the complaining we do about the game being unfair, very rarely do I ever go, that wasn't my fault.
Right. Yeah, like I said, this game is just like you making one bad decision after another.
Yeah.
No matter how good your intentions are or how far ahead you're trying to think, it's just like every decision you make, you get punished for. So you may as well just go for it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Make the best you can, and you're going to just have to live with the consequences, and the game doesn't care.
yep. The game does not care if you have fun.
Nope. Nope. Which is fun. Because too many games do care, and I don't know. I think I could get into a whole like hour-long spiel on modern gaming, and
Oh my goodness.
there we go. Oh, he lived.
Oh.
How did he? He took a hit. Like, I played this game, and I'm still like, I thought he died there. I know he dies. Like,
He's
I know
gotta die,
he doesn't make it, but I'm rushing everybody else to try and come and save him. What blows me away, and here's where bad decisions come in. What should I do right now?
You should get a couple of pot shots off and just let this guy go. Yeah, you could try to hide, but the inside of the ship's all blown up. There's not much you're going to be able to do. You got 3 turns at least till someone gets in there.
Yeah. Well, and I was by the door. I should walk outside and wait for help.
That would be a good decision.
Do I?
Fire.
No, I don't do that, because that would be smart, and that's what I mean. He's gonna die, but whose fault is that?
Well,
Mine.
I didn't even think about leaving, so that tells you where I'm at.
Well, because you get to a point in this game where you've just given up on your troops so much that you've just given up on your troops, especially when you haven't named them.
Right. They're awful. Like, these guys, when they start, are just, like, terrible.
Yeah.
They have no redeeming qualities. I have no idea how they got part of this military organization.
Yeah.
They die right away. They can't shoot.
Yep. They can throw. Good for them, I guess. But
Right. Yep. What is it? Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. It's the one thing you don't need is throwing accuracy.
Right.
Everything else is super important.
He's gonna duck.
Yep. Hope for the best. What do you do? Yeah, you're gonna auto shot. That's a good call. Like when there's guys that are close, I'll reserve for auto shot to try to get deal the most damage.
See, there's not enough energy. That's the stamina's out instead of.
I think if you stand in smoke too, doesn't that affect your stamina or something?
I think it affects your stamina. It definitely affects your aim, which is part of why these aliens haven't mowed him down yet. Is we're both completely smoky. If it wasn't smoked, he'd have been dead 3 turns ago.
I can't believe he's held up this long. This is surprising.
Yeah. So do you do any of the manufacturing for profit? Like, while we're waiting for this guy to die, do you?
I do, yeah. Like I make a lot of alien alloys for profit, or like I'll churn out a bunch of plasma rifles just to keep the engineers busy. I mean, it costs you something to build them, but
But you usually get more than that back.
yeah,
I think that's where I get him killed, moving back to that door, because the other guy's
like, that's a
missing.
good call. I would think that's a good idea.
Well, that's why I did it. But if I remember right, this turn is where a guy pops out of the side door and shoots him in the face.
Yeah. Again, no good decisions.
No good decisions. No, just your best guess, and you hope it works out.
Yeah, you're being smart here by not reserving anything and just hauling ass to
Yep.
help this poor son of a bitch.
Because at this point,
of his children when you went in that spaceship, I knew you were going to do it.
I know, right? And like, I want to save him now because now I kind of like him. Like, holy shit, he's held up. So,
Right. This guy, I don't know. He's just clearing buildings back here.
yeah. So after plasma, what do you go for?
Let me think. I usually like try to get the better craft because the really good alien craft sneak up on you really quick.
Yeah.
And if you're not prepared, then like all of a sudden you don't have any interceptors.
No.
Nothing. I always run out of Illyrium. You said you never do, but maybe I'm just shooting down too many craft over water or something. 'Cause I run out, and I can't use my fancy craft anyway.
I think that's exactly it. It's you kind of have to.
What are you doing?
I'm looking. I'm getting myself killed. What are you doing?
I thought you were going through that door. I'm so glad you didn't go through that door.
No. I'm trying to flank that guy in there, but
Yeah, it's not a bad call, I guess. We'll see how it shakes out.
yeah. What I want to know is who's buying tons of alien corpses.
Yeah, that's the guy with the briefcase, I think, who delivers your stuff. Like, that's so shady.
Right?
That guy is super shady, but hey, $20,000 for an alien corpse.
Right?
Can't argue with that.
And you only need one for the autopsy. So once you've
Yeah.
done that, you're done.
Yeah, he's the only one I think in XCOM that I'm happy to see.
The guy with the briefcase?
The delivery guy, yeah. Everyone else, like,
Thanks for
my
showing up, I
troops,
guess.
the aliens, I don't like any of them.
Scientists. Citizens are a pain in the ass. They're just there to be chrysalid bait and make you feel bad about them dying.
Right. But like when you watch the way the citizens behave, I don't know if you got like one of the city invasions in this one, but like then you understand why your troops are so terrible when they start. Because like 6 weeks ago they were those idiots, just getting in the way, running around.
Yeah.
Getting eaten by chrysalids.
We're going in.
You're storming the castle.
Yep.
Oh, look at that. Too bad grenades are relatively useless in this game.
Yeah.
That'd be a great place to chuck a grenade.
He's going to go through and try and take a shot because you can't just open the door and he's dead.
Oh, no, he's dead.
He's dead.
That's just to give you false hope.
Yep. No, I'd usually do your same build queue where I do like plasma and then try to get a better craft. Not only because you need to take out the UFOs, you're renting the Sky Ranger and the F-15s.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, they cost you money each month, so the sooner you can get rid of them and just have your own craft, the better off you are.
One thing I do too is I equip one of my interceptors with missiles.
Yep.
For like aggro attacks when I don't want to be gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah, these guys are doing a dance on you here.
They
Can't,
really
you can't
are.
hit them.
I can't hit him, and even when I did just there, no damage. Which,
Yep. This guy's doing his best. Come on, buddy.
come on, man, you got this. Do you do a lot of building a second base?
I always build a second base wherever the alien activity is the highest.
Okay.
So usually like somewhere in Asia or Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, and that's when I like really invest in the planning a good layout and all that,
Yeah.
all that stuff. But it's difficult. Like it's really hard to manage that second base because it's so far behind.
Yeah.
And unless you buy uh, ships in it right away, you just kind of have troops sitting there doing nothing,
Mm-hmm.
just waiting for an invasion. It's really challenging. Oh man,
Oh, she lived.
where's that alien think he's gonna go?
That's one down.
Yeah.
One of my biggest mistakes in this game. There's Calvin dying.
We all knew that was coming.
Yeah. I don't know when to bug out. Like
I
I
never
should,
bug out.
and I should. I should grab a bunch of corpses, drop them on the Sky Ranger, and take off.
You know what else you don't do that you should totally do that I don't do either? Save your game in the middle of combat.
I wanted to talk about that. So, like, you go into the options menu in the main part of the game, and you do not get the same options if you go into it in combat, where you can control bullet speed and save. That to me is a huge UI oversight. Like, that's just not acceptable. It would not.
Yeah, there's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it wouldn't fly in a game today. Was all I was gonna say.
But yeah, there's no reason you can't save your game in the middle of combat.
No.
Like, it's an option, but I never do it. Like, it seems unfair to me.
Right?
Like that's XCOM's super concerned about being unfair.
I wouldn't want to be unfair to XCOM.
Right. They work so hard.
They work so hard. Let's not screw this up for them. Oh.
Now you're just shooting corpses.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, someone's got to kill this last alien. Oh, what is her name? Lumidia?
Yeah.
Oh, Patrick's gonna come in and save the day.
So, I mean, how often do you come back for a squad wipe? When do you stop accepting that as, like, when you just turn the game off after a squad wipe?
I usually anytime I get squad wiped, I'm done with it. Like I'm very willing to give up an XCOM because it's like so shitty, when it happens. There's nothing you can do about it. You lose all your good troops. Hey, you finally did it.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and that's just okay. Like, all that work, how many aliens? I killed 6 aliens, recovered 7 alien corpses.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that you got like navigation when the ship was so badly destroyed. Usually I don't get that.
So do you...
Go ahead.
No, you first.
I was going to say, I noticed one thing I always do in the early game is buy a tank with a rocket launcher. And you never do that. And I think that you're making a huge mistake.
I am making a huge mistake. And I don't know what goes through my head, because I think about it every time. I want to buy that tank, and I look at it and I'm like, I should buy the tank.
You should, because because your guys are such pieces of shit in the beginning. Like, the tank can move, it can take a few hits, and it's a rocket launcher, so you don't need to be accurate.
Yeah. No, I know. You're absolutely right. And yet
you never do it.
I never do it.
And I mean, it's really not that expensive. Like, it's pretty expensive, and it takes up 4 slots on your ship. But what else are you going to put in those 4 slots?
Right?
4 useless guys who can't do anything.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I shouldn't. Every time I eventually get around to buying a tank, like once I can start producing my own hover tanks, those things are in there. They're in
Oh
there
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But buying one, I have some mental block that keeps me from buying them.
I mourn the tank more than I mourn my troops. Like if I lose that tank,
Oh, I know.
it's sad. Like it's a sad day at XCOM headquarters.
Yep. Now, do you do what I do here, where you put like one person on every project?
No, I don't. I focus on a few because I don't like that it's the status of your research is unknown. That bugs the shit out of me. Like I can handle poor. Poor is great. Like, but how bad is your research when you don't even know that it's going badly? Is it like the guy who manages the million monkeys with the million typewriters?
He's like,
how are the complete works of Shakespeare going? It doesn't make any sense. I can't handle the unknown research status. It's got to be at least poor.
right. Well, I'm just happy to know they're working on it. To me, it's like
Yeah.
I've had a couple times where like one of those one units has finished something, and I'm like, oh, good for you, guy.
Yeah. I've worked on projects before where it's like I don't know if it's going badly or not, so I guess I should empathize. But
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. You only find out later. I guess it was unknown.
how's that project going? I don't know.
I don't know. It's
No
going.
idea.
It's a thing. It's happening.
I'm working on it all the time.
Yep.
How many? You don't have that many scientists. I usually like. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Find some.
Yeah, I was waiting for living space to get done.
Yeah, I always run out of living space right away. Yeah, you gotta replace those troops you killed.
Yeah.
You killed.
Me. It was me. How often do you shoot your own dudes?
All the time. I shoot them for any reason. In my game, I blew up a guy with a grenade for panicking. Because you're not worth anything to me. You're just gonna flip your shit at the first sign of trouble. I'm gonna blow you up with your own grenade. Like that's what happens.
You do know that them panicking, they'll be less panicky next time, right?
I don't care.
I love that.
Opportunity to panic again.
I love that. That's hilarious to me.
Well, sometimes when they're possessed,
Right.
with like the psionics or whatever, you don't have a choice. So you got to just shoot them.
Yeah.
But I shoot them for any reason. Sometimes I don't need a reason. I just don't like them.
I just don't like him. You wandered out, man. You wandered out.
There's the briefcase guy.
Yep.
With that goatee and that jacket.
Yep. Which is so
Awesome.
90s.
Oh yeah, totally. I think you had that goatee.
I did. Yeah, I might have even had a similar jacket.
Proximity grenades are great. Like I always sometimes I'll just chuck one in front of the alien door and wait, and I find like after about 20 turns someone will come out. So
Yeah.
if you're patient, you can just take out a couple aliens that way.
Well, and that's one of the things I think this game preys on quite a bit, of people not being patient.
Yes.
Like, if you really take your time and let yourself spend a lot of time in combat, you'll get where you want to go.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know why I did a motion scanner. I'm going to build one, but they're worth... do you use them? I've tried.
Yeah, sometimes I get it out, like when I'm just trying to hunt down one more alien, but it never really helps. And like I've noticed it like picks up your movements too, and that can be scary because you open it up and it's like going right middle. You're like, ah! Oh wait, that's me. I just moved. But yeah, I usually don't. I don't use those things at all, really. Here you go. And so like you're invested heavily in the plasma rifle, but not in the clip for it, which is strange.
Well, I figured get one done, and then I'll throw all the guys in the next one, and then I'll
I
have it.
suppose.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to get it about the same amount of time either way, so just I don't
Yeah.
have to think about it this way. Um, Speaking of thinking about things, psionics.
Oh. Uh, I hate it when it gets used on me, but I rarely use it.
Does it do anything other than tell you what and where somebody is?
I think in the late game, you can do stuff with it. Uh, but like I said, I give up on XCOM games so fast that I'm not getting to that stage of the game hardly ever.
How often have you beaten it?
I want to say right around never. I've probably never beaten an XCOM game.
You never
I think
beaten it.
I've gotten pretty far, and eventually I just like, ugh, you know.
And yet it's still one of your favorite games.
Yeah, I love starting XCOM games.
Which I mean me too. I've beaten it once, but like never again.
Yeah,
I don't have the stamina to go that far in this original version, but I love playing it.
one thing I find true with the troops is like you hate them so much at first,
Mhm.
but then like they get good and they get strong and they you put some armor on them and you give them like you name them after your best friend from elementary school and then they die,
Then they die.
right?
Yep. Nope.
So here your name this guy. I always name them something like to reflect their skills, like Shooter McGavin or whatever.
Yeah.
Or if they're just like generally okay, I give them a name like an immature sexual name, like
I
Power Bottomson or Turgid Memberson or something like that.
I used to name them after people I worked with, and then I realized I don't want to deal with work anymore, so I started naming them after people I
Good call.
like. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you
no,
gotta rename this chick.
this is my relax time. Who did I name this?
Yeah, you're thinking about it.
I'm
I always
think.
have to do that.
Well, once I delete it, I sit here and I go, wait a minute, was this a guy or a girl? Was this what
Yep.
what
It doesn't matter.
nationality was it? Oh man,
God, look at that firing accuracy, 49. That's terrible.
right? And it's up a little bit from last time,
Yeah,
Regular
right.
size Rudy. Yeah.
See, I'd sack this guy. I would have sacked her. I'm not bringing someone with a 43 firing accuracy into combat because they're just going to shoot their own guy, and I'm going to get mad, and I'm going to quit my XCOM game.
I'm having a hard time with the money. That's really what it is. Like, it cost me 20 grand to get this guy here. If all I do is march him into the UFO and get him shot up, 20 grand well spent.
I suppose, yeah. Oh, nice. Nice 90s
Nice 90s. Yeah, I tried to.
reference.
Yeah, thanks. Um,
But she's good. She's okay.
she's not bad.
More.
Yeah. For me, though, it's the bravery. That's the one I'm always checking out because I don't need these people losing their shit when somebody dies.
Right.
That's.
Yeah, it's bad news. Like right in the beginning when people start flipping their shit,
Mhm.
it's bad.
And, like, a lot of my guys have a bravery of 10. That's just sort of unacceptable.
Right. So I say, give them a disparaging name and then sack them. That's my advice to you.
It might be something I try next time because
Yeah.
I got to do something different. I get pounded on too much in these early missions. I think it's amusing that the scale goes up to 170.
Yeah. Right. That's never gonna. You're never
You-
gonna get a guy above 100.
No,
I don't think I've seen 100.
no. In all the years I played, no, I can't think of a time I've ever cracked 100 on anything. I saw an 80 once, and
Yep. And it was probably in throwing accuracy.
probably.
All right. You took care of your bookkeeping.
Took care of my
Oh, there
bookkeeping.
you go.
Yep. Now I get
See,
to go
like,
back.
yeah, you've got troops with 40 whatever or skill in accuracy just taking up your living quarters.
Yep, that's true.
It kills me. At least you get no money when you sack them. I like that.
Yep.
Okay.
What am I doing? Why? No! You had the right idea. I think it was money. I think I'm
Yeah.
constantly paranoid about running out of money. Although you can work in the red for a couple months.
Can you really?
You can. I think you can do it like 2 or 3 months before they're finally like, okay, guys, we're shutting you down. But you can do a couple months in the red before it really bites you. Um,
Hooray. Another thing I do that you don't do is I sell a lot of the stuff they start you with. Like I sell that autocannon, I sell that rocket launcher. Like ain't nobody gonna use that rocket
no,
launcher in the beginning of the game. It's too heavy.
it's too
You
heavy.
can't do anything with it. Get some money.
No, yep,
Okay, here we go.
yep. Have you ever, and I've done this sometimes, like send the Sky Ranger out with the shoot down craft, with your intercept craft?
No, I've never done that. Is that a what's the advantage? You
You,
get to them quicker?
yeah, basically you just get to drop right on top of them as soon as they're shot down.
Oh, that's so they get less distance from the craft. Is that how it works?
Well, more like in this case, I wouldn't have done it because it's nighttime. But like if you
Well,
see
yeah.
nighttime coming around the corner, like send both of them out so that
Oh.
you weren't going to have a nighttime mission. And here I am.
Well, could you also not send your Sky Ranger and just have it chill out uh,
I
by the landing site until daytime? Could you do that?
I don't know. Like I don't know what happens if you let a crash just sit. Do you? Have we ever tried that?
I don't think so. I usually just Johnny on the spot and deal
Yeah.
with the dark.
I think again it's one of those being impatient and it bites you.
Are there
Where
stun rods that you have there?
I do have stun rods. I was about to ask you about that. Do you ever use stun rods?
Hell no.
How do you do your captures? You probably don't even do captures because you don't play to the late game.
Exactly. Yep. No, like you get the stun launcher later.
Yeah.
Like I don't build alien containment right away. Like I'm just trying to survive at the beginning. Another thing that bugs me a lot is I don't understand who is the guy who's driving the Sky Ranger.
Right?
Like you're in like where are you? You're in like Kansas or something,
Hmm.
and you got to park like right next to the downed alien, right by all the heavy cover at night.
Yeah.
Like you can't park a mile away and I'll hoof it. You know,
Oh.
like look at this, look at this. That is whoever's driving that Sky Ranger is responsible for that.
Right? For all the murders that are about to happen as this guy just
Yep.
shoots into the craft and mows us all down.
Like commandeer a golf cart and drive into combat. Do
Right.
something. Don't park me right next to all the aliens with the plasma rifles.
Yeah, it gives us the ability to sneak in as opposed to landing this giant loud.
What is going on here? There you go. He wasn't even close on those
I
first two
know.
shots.
Nowhere near.
And now all your dudes are going to be jammed up
Yep.
because of that bird.
Yep.
Yeah, these night missions are brutal. And if you, God help you if you forget your
Electro
light up
flares?
thing.
Yeah.
Electro flares, yeah. And it seems like your guys are like bioluminescent because the aliens can always see you
Oh,
way
yeah.
before you can see them when it's nighttime.
Well, the aliens can detect you with psionics. And this is one of the things that, like, I wanted to talk a little bit about this. There's lore in the game that you will never find out about. So, like, when they come to raid your base, every time you shoot down an alien craft, they scan that area for a base to come raid. And really, they start searching. And the more you shoot down, the harder they search. What determines their detection is if they come within so close to your base, plus how many people you have there. The more people you have there, the higher the psionic signature and the easier you are to find.
Is that true though, or is that just unsubstantiated?
It's in the official guide.
No way, really?
Really. And that's what I mean. There's like I'm reading through this and I'm getting more lore about this game than I got anywhere else, even in the game. And
Wow.
that's I love that about it, where it literally doesn't care. It
Yeah, right.
there's all these mechanics, there's all this cool stuff, and it's like, nah, you don't deserve that.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't. I had no idea. I didn't know that was
Yeah,
significant.
significant lore little bit there.
So if I build a bunch of bases and I don't put interceptors in them, they'll be safe then.
If you put, it's your population. So if you keep like 5 or 10 people in it, the odds on the aliens even finding it is very slim. But when you've got, like I've got right now, like 40 scientists and like another 20 something people, if they come near it, they're probably going to find it.
Interesting. Yeah, I do like it. Like sometimes you'll see a UFO fly over, and it'll be large, and so I'm not going to shoot that down, and then it'll like turn into an invasion site. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That they like have to fly over, and you could prevent invasions if you were so inclined.
Well, and there's one of the other things that this game never sort of tells you in your analogy of you're playing chess where you can't see the opponent's pieces. The aliens have a score too, and it's a race on score. And if you can keep the score down, that's what keeps the council happy, as long as you're earning points faster than they are. But the moment you decide to not and let them start running away with the score, that's when you start losing people. So it's always this, there's a strategy level global competition going on beyond just the individual battles. And you don't know that.
Yeah.
There's no way to know that. There's no way to see it in the game. You can look at the graphs and get an idea that that's happening, but
Ooh.
boom, and dead.
Yeah.
There's XCOM.
Yep. You did your best there. Like I can't fault you because
No.
you didn't go in blind. You threw your electro flare. Now this guy's gonna do his best here.
Yeah, he's going to do his best. I don't remember. I think he gets him. No line of fire.
Because of the Sky Ranger, probably.
Yep. The thing I'm hiding behind to keep him from getting shot is keeping me from.
See, this is where I would use the Zap Brannigan defense and just send all those guys in there. A bunch of them will get shot because that alien probably has reserved time units.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually he'll run out, and then I'll just shoot him.
Just shoot him.
Probably kill him. I'm gonna take a brief intermission. I'll be right back.
All right. So while he's gone, I'll kind of talk about like what I was thinking here was I was going to go around and flank him. That alien who just shot my other guy. I wanted to see what was down there, make sure it was safe. I know there's somebody over here. But yeah, there's like no, she might get a shot, but like I try to move him to cover. That's something else that I'll have to talk about cover when he gets back.
So how many people did you kill while I was gone?
No, not many. No, nobody died. Here's how I'm going to try and use the motion sensor, though.
Oh, that's kind of you.
Yep. Anybody else out there? And find out that it's basically worthless.
Yep.
Because, yeah, that shows, like, my guys, which, thanks, I guess?
Yeah. So you're probably better off using that at the beginning of your turn, right?
Mhm.
And then what will you see the aliens that moved last turn?
Yep. But that's only if they've moved. A lot of times you'll sit outside a UFO and they won't have moved, so enjoy.
Yeah. Just like standing on this corpse.
Yep. What could go wrong?
Here we go.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That is one of the nice things about the cannon. I mean, it is slow and plunky, but they don't survive if you hit them.
Yeah. Yeah, the incendiary, like we talked about how we don't really use uh, the special ammo too much, but in these night vision or night missions, the
Hmm.
incendiary ammo is really nice because it lights up a big area. So you can just burn half the map and you'll be fine.
Yeah. The other thing I like about it on farmlands is these little buggers like to hide in the wheat.
Right.
So just light it up. Just start it on fire, wait by the fence on the side for them to come running out and mow them down. Because, yeah, going in there is suicide. It's.
Yep. Yeah, that I think we understated probably how important that feature is that you can destroy the environment.
Hmm.
Like that's a huge deal because you're dealing with limited movement points, and sometimes it's like faster just to blast a hole through a building, than it is to walk around to the door.
To
So it gives
blast.
you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah, so like barn things, one of the things I like to do is I'll move somebody out to the front of the barn and have them draw all the fire and then place high explosive at the back and have everybody storm in the hole.
Cool.
I don't know another game where you can do that. And it catches the aliens off guard because you're behind them. And now there's this hole and you have everybody in firing position and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yep.
Which goes back to I've never have felt any of these deaths. And even the guy by the Sky Ranger, like I did everything I could,
Yeah.
but I don't know, I could have waited longer, kept him behind the tires. There's things I could have done.
Your guy just went back on the Sky
Yep.
Ranger.
Yep.
That's
Because
what we were talking about. That's so annoying.
and because it's turn units,
Right. That's like half his movement
that's
points.
that hope you enjoyed because now you don't get to do anything.
I have had situations where I'm like trying to shoot a hole through a hedge and my guy misses the hedge.
Yeah.
That's like, oh, like you literally can't hit the broadside of a barn.
Right? I've missed a barn.
Yeah. You got a guy in that field, I think,
I
right?
think so, yeah. Um
I think you should be able to it should be quicker to chuck a grenade than it is. Like they really nerfed grenades by making them so
well, you got to
difficult.
prime them and then throw them.
Right.
But that is actually one of my favorite XCOM stories of all time. We were in a city thing, and I was coming down an alley, and I had two guys sweeping the alley. One guy poked his head around the corner, saw a Reaper, and I didn't have plasma weapons yet. So I pulled him back around the corner because the thing couldn't get to him because it's two squares and it was a one square alley. Waited a turn, had him prime the grenade, step out. He got shot by a floater. So the other person is standing there with a grenade at her feet, ready to go off, and these two aliens down the alley. She stepped out, picked up the grenade, threw it, and then ran down another alley
Yeah,
because
that's perfect.
she had the turn units to do it, and
Yep.
took out the floater and did a bunch of damage to the Reaper.
Those are the moments that make XCOM worth playing.
Absolutely. You don't get really. There's no other game that does that. Even the new XComs. I've had some really interesting things in the new XCOM too, but never anything like some of the stories and some of the adventures I've had with this first one. Even
Yeah.
with only finishing it like once, I still come back and play this. Even with a horrible interface, I still
Yep.
come back and play this.
Yeah, when a plan comes together and everything works, it's like
It's so
amazing.
beautiful.
But it's
Yeah.
because it so rarely happens. Like
Yep.
usually,
Yep.
the guy holding the primed proximity grenade gets shot, and then you can't move anymore because
You used everything to get him there. Yeah.
yeah, and then the guy next to him can't move either because he's going to get blown up if he takes a step.
Yep.
Like I've done that many times. Oh,
Mhm.
great.
I like that the electro flares are something you can pick up and throw again.
Yeah, that's handy.
And this is where, like I was talking about bugging out more. Some of these crash sites, I should grab everything I can. Once I know there's a bunch of aliens in the UFO, like that last one, What should I have done? Left the UFO. Scooped
Yeah,
up all the gear around it, went back on the Ranger, and flew off.
yeah,
Because why not? Why did I go get a bunch of people killed?
yeah.
Um, which kind of brings me into the last thing we should probably talk about, like the legacy of XCOM. Um, One of the things I think there's a game called Xenonauts, which is a spiritual successor to this, that they added is after you shoot down a craft, you can land and raid the craft, or send interceptors to bomb it and then just sweep up the wreckage for money.
Very nice. Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, that I love that idea because I often wonder like why don't we just blow it up, not deal with it. Um, have you played any of the new XCOM games? What's the last XCOM game you played? I know we played Apocalypse back in the day.
Yeah. Well, there was this one. There was Terror from the Deep, I think, which was pretty terrible.
Mm-hmm.
There's Apocalypse, and then they had like a couple. I think wasn't there like a first-person shooter?
There was a first-person shooter, and
Was
there
there a
was
space fighting game?
there was a
Like a
space
space
flight
combat?
game too, and both of them were horrible. Then there was a third-person action game. Um, I feel like any of those games, if they'd been called something other than XCOM, would have been okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like no game, even the new ones, which I like, have recaptured the fear I feel while playing this game.
Yeah.
Um, Going back to play this game again, I thought maybe I'm just older and it's not, I'm not as scared of this stuff. I'm still nervous crawling around this in the dark,
Yeah.
knowing that there's something that's going to shoot from off screen and I'm not going to see it and it's going to take me out.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely more so later in the game when you care more about, you've got some built-up troops.
Yeah.
It's a lot to lose. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
the the hilly levels I think are the worst for getting
Oh,
shot
they're
randomly.
horrible. Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating, and the line of sight, like I said, is not intuitive at all.
Mm-mm.
So you like are prone to miss things that are right in front of you.
Yeah. And especially night missions and stuff where you don't see the things and you'll just suddenly see bullets fly from off screen and that's all the warning you get.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
bullet tracking, like the way the bullets fly across your screen, it can be pretty problematic in this game too.
Yeah.
I know we've already harped on the interface enough, but that can be very frustrating because you can't always see where they came from, where they're going.
I don't know if you just saw that. I had the motion sensor up. It detected nothing. I'm right
Okay.
next to the UFO. So I thought, nobody's in the UFO. There was just a little flare. There are guys in the UFO. There are.
There's always guys in the UFO.
Right?
You can count on it. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. So like she can't see him, but I think I'm gonna make her take a shot.
Is she standing?
The
Or
one
she
behind. No, she's kneeling.
Oh yeah, I'll bet if. Oh no.
No.
Let's
Oh,
see.
now she does.
There.
Yeah, there it is. I don't know why I'm auto shooting that far away. It's never gonna hit.
Yeah. Try it again.
Yep. Keep running the play till you get it right.
Yeah, that's what 6 shots and no hits.
No
That's
hits.
Yeah, the other reason I like to use the map is because sometimes the UFOs get placed in really weird positions
Mm-hmm.
at like the very edge of the map, and you can't get guys in there at all. Can be really
Where do I see
really
him?
challenging.
Oh, he's right there. Oh,
Oh wow.
that's what I mean. Like, how did I not see him when I walked from there? Like,
Oh, he's
he's dead. He's.
I'm surprised that alien didn't shoot you, considering he didn't move last turn. He's probably got time units left over.
Right?
I don't know.
Maybe he didn't see me because he's like has to stare at the wall, or
Right. because he ran out of time units
Yeah.
just like you did.
Yeah. So have you played the new XComs? The
I,
Firaxis ones?
I played the first one, and I liked it, but it lacked the charm of this one. I thought it gave you, it told you like what your cover percentage was and
Mm-hmm.
blah blah blah. And, it just didn't feel as terrible shot.
Terrible shot.
Uh,
Shut the wall in front of me.
yep, it didn't feel as flexible and loose as this one for some reason. Like I can't place my finger on exactly why that is, but
It lacked the grit, and more of the focus was put on building satellites than playing the game.
yeah,
And that really, don't get me wrong, I liked it. But once I was done with it, I was done with it.
yeah,
Um, the new one, I'll say, they've done a great job of ratcheting up the flexibility in what you can do with stuff. It's still not this though, and
yeah. Ooh.
yeah.
What is that alien doing?
He missed. He didn't see me. Oh, now he did.
Oh, now he's got that figured out now.
Yep.
I can't believe he didn't
I,
kill you. That's yeah.
but
I would auto shoot here too.
yep. Yeah, buddy. Look at that.
Try it again.
There we
There
go.
you go.
But that's a good point. That kind of shows how this game is fair. Line of sight was line of sight. He didn't see me
Yep.
coming around the corner. I didn't see him coming around the corner. It's not like they had different rules.
Yeah, right.
And
I would say that the aliens in this situation have the advantage though, because all your, like I said, where that idiot who's driving the Sky Ranger, like
Mhm.
you always start from the same place, but the aliens are everywhere. Like
yeah,
there's that
yeah.
to me seems unfair. But you're right. Like they have to deal with running out of time units and having terrible accuracy and shooting their own dudes and all that, all the
Mhm.
same stuff you have to deal with.
Yeah. It's the game is sort of unforgiving more than unfair. And
Right.
if you can be patient and you can have some good strategy, you can play this game and be okay. The only real reason I don't recommend it to people anymore is interface. And I think that's a shame. That's really because it's a great game that I'd love to see remade. I'd even take the pixel graphics, just fix the interface.
Yeah.
Change nothing and fix the interface. Give me scroll wheels.
Yeah. Zoom out.
Zoom out.
Rotate the map. That would be nice.
Yep.
Stuff we take for granted nowadays.
Right? Yeah. So yeah, and I think this is where from here on out people just start dying.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you want to say about XCOM? I mean, how long have we been doing this here? About an
It's been
hour.
over an hour. Yeah. No, I think we covered everything. I think there's a lot we didn't get to in your playthrough, but like the flying armor is awesome.
Mhm.
There's a lot of really cool stuff, and like once you get the flying armor, you use the levels more in the map, and that's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think we covered the main things about XCOM that I think people should know or might want to know.
I guess if somebody left a comment or something or wanted more information about late game stuff, I'd do a follow-up video to this where we would talk a little more about late game things. Like I'd play it through a little further. I mean,
Yeah.
oh, woe is me, I'd have to play more XCOM. But like you've seen, this is the game.
Right.
In the future, it's just better weapons and I can fly is sort of all the changes.
Like there's terror sites where the aliens invade a city.
Yeah.
And those are hard. And then there's base invasions where either you're invading an alien base or the aliens invade your base, and those are super hard.
Those are super hard. There's more different types of aliens, and that's one of the other things back to the culture of the time. Greys obviously are taking a center stage in this, but the people who did this did their research. they pulled aliens from all the different conspiracy theory alien genres and did a really good job. The snake people, the
Yeah.
reapers, the chrysalid bug people.
Wow.
What could go wrong?
Yep. See if you miss this auto shot.
No,
Good job, buddy.
right? I think there's still like 2 more in there that mow a bunch of people down. I'm trying to remember if it was this one or the other one where I had somebody with like a 10 points of bravery, and they were the only ones who survived the mission.
Oh no.
Like, I called them Red Shirt too. Like I named them Red Shirt, just expecting them to not make it. They survived 2 missions, and I'm like, well,
Oh.
go you. All right. So wrapping up here, let's talk about next month's topic. We're going to do the original System Shock.
Yeah. I have never played the original System Shock, so I'm excited to try that out.
It's one. I'm looking forward to seeing what the enhanced edition on Good Old Games gets you, because I played it right at like when BioShock 2 came out. I hadn't played it until much more recently. I didn't play it when it originally came out, and I like it so much better than any of the Shock games that have come out. Like, not to spoil anything for the next one, but I loved the story. I loved the setting. The graphics are rough, and the interface was rough, and we'll talk about that next time. But
Cool. Yeah,
next
looking
month,
forward to it.
System Shock. So I'll kind of kick out of this and talk to everybody later.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.